So this is the first year that Pixar has two movies out, and yeah, I think The Good Dinosaur was supposed to come out last year, but because of different directors and different things happening in the production of it, it got bumped back until after Inside Out, and many people feel that The Good Dinosaur is just a big complete letdown because of Inside Out. But actually, yeah, I really have a hard time figuring out which of these two movies I like more. They're pretty even for me. So The Good Dinosaur is the new Pixar movie that I saw Saturday right after Spotlight and before I saw Krampus, so yeah, Krampus review should be coming up next. This Pixar film asks the question, if the meteor didn't hit Earth and kill off all the dinosaurs, what then would become of the dinosaurs? And so now we have a film where dinosaurs are intelligent, they talk, and we focus on a family of long-necked dinosaurs. I don't think they ever said which type of dinosaur it is specifically. And the long necks are a family of farmers, and it would make sense, they're herbivores. But our main kid dinosaur is the runt of the litter, literally. He's very cowardly, he's afraid of everything, he screws up a lot of stuff. I don't want to give too much away, but somehow our good dinosaur gets separated from his family. So now he's in the wilderness, far away from home, all by himself, until he runs across a human named Spot. At least he names him later in the movie, Spot. And so now the film is a basic story of a boy and his dog trying to get home. This time the boy being the dinosaur and the dog, a boy. Now I was pleasantly surprised with The Good Dinosaur. A lot of people say that it's just, it's an okay Pixar movie, but to be honest, out of the 16 Pixar movies, this would easily make my top 10. It would probably be number 9 or 8, which would probably be above Inside Out. That might be an unpopular opinion, but it might be true. First off, it's a true adventure story about a kid just trying to come home, along with the random obstacles that might stop him from getting home. And yeah, it fits that structure perfectly. But in this film, I never really lost the sense of actual danger. Like some Pixar movies, well, Inside Out in particular, didn't feel like there was a big danger to me. It didn't feel like the characters were absolutely in danger because we knew they would make it out of it and it would be all fine by the end of it. I think for The Good Dinosaur, you know that it's all going to be kind of fine by the end of the movie because it's a cartoon, it's an animated film. But really, the sense of danger never left when I watched the movie because, yeah, the kid gets really injured several times throughout the movie. Yeah, this dinosaur goes through hell, honestly. And there's so many moments where you actually see the cuts and bruises on the texture of the skin of the dinosaur, and it's just freaking amazing because it feels like he's really in danger. It feels like he's really getting hurt and really struggling through it. And you need that kind of thing for this kind of film because this is a young kid. He doesn't know anything about the wilderness and he's trying to get home. You need that sense of danger. And yes, the animation is absolutely stunning. Now, here's the thing. I had a bit of a nitpick when I first saw the trailer, and I felt, okay, if there was going to be one nitpicky thing I'm going to say, it's going to be the animation. And I still have that feeling towards it, and that is because that the animation in the background, the environment, the sets, absolutely freaking amazing, and so amazing that they feel like it's a real-life set. It feels like a real-life wilderness that these characters are in. The character models, however, aren't so great, and I had that problem when I first saw the trailer. After having seen the movie, it's not as bad as I thought it would have been. I sort of got used to the character models, and the character models for the younger people, the younger characters, are the ones that are wonky and kind of weird looking, but the adult ones tend to be pretty fine. I think what helps add to the good stunning animation for the characters though is the skin. The texture of the dinosaur skin is really amazing. Whenever it gets close up on the dinosaurs, I could just see the lizard-like skin, and it looks freaking amazing. Also, there are quite a few people that feel like this is more of the kids entertaining type Pixar movie, which granted, Pixar can sometimes be more family orientated or more kid orientated, and this one, honestly, for me, is more family because there's a lot of darker and a few gruesome stuff in the film. For one, the Good Dinosaur actually has the balls to say kill in the movie. Like, so many animated films don't really say kill or dead or death. They just say like gone or get or something along those lines. Like, one of the nitpicky things I had against Big Hero 6 is that they used dead once, but then for the rest of the movie they just said gone, and that sort of bugged me. But the Good Dinosaur doesn't shy away from it. It actually says kill in the movie, and that's a little darker for a film that's considered just a kid-friendly film. There's also an animal getting its head ripped off. There's an animal that's really cute that gets frickin' swallowed whole and digested, and yeah, it's a little darker, and honestly, it might disturb a few kids. One of the issues I had with Inside Out is it didn't feel like it had that emotional kick, that really good, sad moment that a Pixar film usually has. And yes, I found two moments in Inside Out that other people could get emotional about. I know people that did cry during those moments, but for me, they never really affected me like other Pixar films. The Good Dinosaur, it affected me when those scenes happened. There were 2 or even 3 moments where it really did get emotional and it got sad. And The Good Dinosaur is really great at having these really silent moments where nothing's really said, but you can understand everything, and it's just emotionally impactful and just really tugs on the heartstrings. The first of those scenes is a moment where the kid is trying to explain the meaning of family, and they use these sticks, and it's really damn good. Now, one of the things I actually did worry about going into this movie is I was hoping it wouldn't be too much like Cars, and let me explain this. Now, Cars is a bunch of cars that can talk, and they're intelligent, they're sentient, yet somehow there's certain cars that act more like animals, and there's a really weird, like, okay, what makes this car different? Why is this car more of an animal while other cars are sentient? And there's no real line drawn in Cars where it explains, okay, these cars are just animals, and it makes sense. Now, when I heard that the T-Rex in this film are more of cattle drivers, I was worried that the cattle would be other dinosaurs, and for some reason those ones are animals while the other dinosaurs are sentient, and I was worried about it. But thank God that's not the case for the Good Dinosaur. It seems like all the unintelligent animals, the more animals, are the mammals and the little critters and the bugs and the tiny, tiny lizards. All the dinosaurs are sentient. They treat each other like other dinosaurs, like other people. Sure, there are a few villainous ones that wouldn't mind killing other dinosaurs, but that's pretty much like normal humans as well. It seems like the only mammals that show some sort of intelligence in this movie are the humans. Even though our main human is more of a dog, you can definitely tell that he understands things and he is sentient. And he just acts like a dog because he's a little wild boy. But speaking of the T-Rex, this is where I have a little bit of an issue with the Good Dinosaur. Now, I'm glad that they showed how the carnivores work and how the herbivores work, because the herbivores are farmers, and because those are farmers, it just makes sense that the T-Rex, being carnivores, would be more of like cattle drivers. So what makes sense on paper, what needs to be done to establish this unified world, doesn't quite turn out right in The Good Dinosaur, because it feels really jarred and feels like, okay, they're in the jungle and then suddenly they're out in the West, and so the rest of this point, and so this huge section of the film is more of a Western style theme, and it just feels out of place. And without giving too much away, there's a few moments in this film that feel like, okay, I can have a totally different interpretation for the meaning of these scenes. I know it's hard to say that and not explain what, but yeah, there's this one scene where I'm not saying anything, but yeah, there's this one scene where I look at it and I can look at it through two different perspectives and come up with two different answers, and I don't want to give too much away. If you've seen the movie and are curious, then comment below and I'll answer it for you. But yeah, I really enjoyed The Good Dinosaur. It was really good. It was really good. And to be quite honest, I think I like it a little bit more than Inside Out. Because while Inside Out was funnier, it was more creative, it felt like a better story overall, The Good Dinosaur felt like there was more danger. There was more moments where it actually gets emotional and sad for me. And overall it was more entertaining. So it's like comparing apples and oranges, because Inside Out is great for certain parts, while Good Dinosaur is great for all the other things that Inside Out didn't do as well with me. So it's like they have the equal amount of what's good about them. It's totally different things of why they're so good. So I'm going to give The Good Dinosaur 4.5 stars. So have you seen The Good Dinosaur? What did you think about it? Go ahead and comment. If not, what is your favorite dinosaur animated film? There's probably not a lot to choose from, but there's quite a bit. There's The Land Before Time. There's Dinosaur. There's probably a few others that I'm just not thinking right away. As always, this is BruceGifford, and this was Just My Opinion.